Hey guys, Matt from New Appliance here. Let's talk about laundry, everybody's favorite category. If you want to sell more washers, stick around. We're going to go through the three major categories in laundry. We're going to break them down for you, and we're going to teach you what makes sense for who and where the margin lives for your business. Hey guys, let's start with impeller top loading washing machines. These are probably going to be more common than other machines in a load that you buy from us or any wholesale supplier. And it's important that you understand who these products are really meant for so that you can make sales that stick. The last thing you want to do is put a product in a customer's home and the end result being they want to return it because they're not satisfied. The job of the salesperson is to provide sufficient customer education on the front end so that you don't have to deal with a negative customer experience on the back end. So impeller top loading washing machines are meant for the customer that is dead set on having a top load. As is true for the agitator machines as well. There are some customers that will not listen to you when you want to have a conversation about front-loading laundry. And so the machines still exist, they're still part of the market, but we have to understand that between the two styles of machines, between impeller machines and agitator machines, there are notable differences in performance that you have to articulate to the customer to make sure you're getting them the right product. Impeller machines are best suited for customers who do full loads of laundry every time or nearly every time they do wash. The reason is the drum spins one way, the plate on the bottom changes direction. It creates a corkscrew effect that pulls the laundry from the top to the bottom through the bottom 4 or 5 inches of water where the washing actually happens and takes what's on the bottom and pushes it up. When it comes to impeller machines, when you do small loads of laundry, say 2, 3, 4 garments, what inevitably happens is the laundry tends to bunch up on one side and the machine becomes unbalanced, and you get the dreaded unbalance error. So when you're talking to a customer about making a selection in a washing machine, one of the first lifestyle qualifying questions is, well, walk me through laundry day for you. Is laundry day all week and you do small loads throughout the week? Or are you somebody that saves your laundry to the weekend and you power through it? If there's somebody that saves it all for the weekend and they power through it and they don't separate lights and darks and they don't separate colors from whites and they're really just throwing it all in there and need the most capacity they can get, impeller machines can make a lot of sense for that customer. On the flip side, if they're a customer that does lots of small loads, selling them this machine is less than optimal because they are going to experience more frequent unbalance errors. In general, when you're talking to a customer about purchasing a washing machine, another really important qualifying question is, when's the last time you went shopping for a washer? If they're replacing a 30-year-old direct drive, any washer they buy today is going to behave a whole lot differently than what they're used to. And if you don't deal with that on the front end in the process of making a sale, I guarantee you will deal with it on the back end with a negative customer experience and them coming to you saying, oh, it's broken, it's not filling up, why is there no water? Consumers have been programmed to a degree that water is what cleans clothes. And they see a machine that doesn't fill all the way to the top with water, their clothes aren't floating and sloshing around, and they get really confused and they think their clothes aren't going to get clean. And they walk into it with that bias, and it's really hard to overcome that if you didn't talk about it before the product ended up in the customer's home. The way modern washing machines work is by using enough water to wet the clothes and build up a 4 to 5 inch wash zone at the bottom of the drum and pushing the clothes through that wash zone. The complementary side of that is enzymatic detergent. Modern HE detergents are all enzymatic. They don't rely on chemical detergency to remove soils from clothes. It's enzymes breaking down soil components into water-soluble things that can be ejected with the drain water and the rinse water. With a modern machine, it is going to take longer. It's going to be an hour cycle. It's not going to be a 15, 20, 30-minute cycle. It's not going to use 30 to 40 gallons of water to wash and rinse your clothes. It may use 5 to 10. The difference really is that you will achieve either equal or better cleaning performance from an older machine. The downside is it's going to take longer. And if you don't explain that up front, I promise you, you're gonna run into issues. And same thing with impeller machines versus agitator machines. If you sell an impeller machine to somebody that does tons of small loads, inevitably they're gonna be unhappy with the machine because the laundry is eventually going to be a chronic, unbalanced, nightmare laundry day. That's really where we flip over to agitator washing machines like this Maytag model. It has a non-removable agitator, so it is a fixed pole agitator. The advantage with fixed pole agitators is that they work very traditionally. They stretch the clothing, they pull the fibers to loosen the soil so that the enzymatic detergent can get at it better and break it up. The other real advantage is physical. It forces the laundry to stay roughly where it started at. So with a pole agitator and a small load of laundry, you don't have to worry as much about the laundry moving to one side and shifting and causing the machine to shake all over the place. You also tend to get better cleaning results on agitator machines versus impeller machines if you're contending with a heavy amount of solid soil. So when you're talking to your customer, you want to find out what they do for work. If a customer tells you they're a landscaper, they're a cement mason, they are some tradesperson that does a very dirty job, a plumber that does sewer work, anything along those lines, selling them a pole agitator top loader is going to be a better solution for them than an impeller machine. An impeller machine is really suited for somebody that's washing large bulks of light to moderate soil clothing. An agitator machine is ideal for somebody that's doing small, very concentrated, heavily soiled clothing. Now, we have the elephant in the room, front load laundry. Front load laundry is the best way to do clothes washing now versus roll back the clock 20, 30 years. And there's reasons for that. We talked about impeller and agitator machines filling up with 4 to 5 inches of water, making sure the clothes are wet, but they're not floating. And we talked about the laundry rolling over, where what's on the top makes it to the bottom to get washed, and what's on the bottom gets pushed up, and that cycle repeating itself. The downside with that whole mechanism of operation is not all the clothing is getting cleaned evenly at the same time. And so you do get worse stain removal performance with modern top loaders. You do get worse soil removal performance with modern top loaders. Front loaders, by contrast, you load the clothes horizontally, the drum spins, and the wash is constantly tumbling through the wash zone and changing direction and tumbling backwards. So you have a couple advantages in that. Everything washes and agitates uniformly all at the same time for the entire duration of the cycle versus brief periods of agitation followed by periods of rest in modern top loaders. The other advantage with front loading laundry is it spins faster. So a modern top loader spins at about 750 RPM on the maximum spin setting. Modern front loaders spin between 13 and 1400 RPM. That means more water is extracted from the clothes before they go into the dryer, which means less time in the dryer, less energy consumption overall. And a lot of people complain about front loading laundry. They think, oh, it's gonna smell bad, or oh, it's gonna leak. I can tell you in 14 years of appliance sales, I've never had a complaint about a front loader door gasket leaking and spilling water everywhere. I've had issues with hoses bursting, but never the machine itself. The other side of that is smell. Everybody wants to say that front loading laundry gets stinky and moldy and gross. That was true 15, 20 years ago. It's not necessarily true anymore. With modern washing machines being high efficiency, it's entirely possible to make a top-loading washer smell bad and be full of mold. It's entirely possible to do the same thing to a front loader. The difference is in how you as a consumer approach using the product. Using an appropriate amount of laundry products, whether it's detergent, softener, any laundry additives, makes a huge difference as to whether or not the washer is eventually going to develop a moldy, musty odor. The other side of that is self-cleaning. All of these machines, whether they are top or front load, have self-cleaning cycles that are designed to flush away residue. The thing that the machine can't contend with is a consumer using an entire cap full of detergent every single time they do wash, no matter what the load size or soil level is. It will always result in a film accumulating that can support microbial growth. Same thing with fabric softener. If you're overusing liquid fabric softener in a washing machine, you will deposit a layer of chemically modified fat that is perfect food for bacteria and mold. There is no way around that. A lot of manufacturers have tried to come up with ways to address it. GE is a notable one with their microban infused plastic internal components. But even with those machines, it's not entirely impossible to cause them to be moldy, whether they be top or front load, because again, if you use too much detergent chronically, if you use too much fabric softener chronically, and you don't run the self-cleaning cycles ever, you will get a stinky washer, and it doesn't matter if it's top or front load. The advantage of buying a front loader is, generally speaking, you will get superior stain removal, superior cleaning performance, fresher laundry, and overall reduced energy consumption because less water will be remaining in the clothes when they move to the dryer, which will save you a ton of time in the dryer. So as a retailer or as a technician, your motivation should be to introduce people to front-loading laundry, allay their concerns, and help them understand that front loaders today are not what they were 20 years ago, and they can blot out their bad memories of the Maytag Neptune, because these things are totally different now. And you need to help them understand that top-loading laundry overall is going to give them a worse experience than buying a modern front loader. You will always have customers that are truly resistant to change and won't see the value in a front-loading washer. But as much as possible, it is to your benefit to minimize the negative consumer effect of what modern top-loading laundry is like, to introduce every single customer to front-loading laundry. Whether they ultimately buy it or not is their decision. But if you refuse to introduce it, if you don't make a sales effort, you will continue to be plagued by, oh, my washer doesn't fill up with enough water, or oh, I don't think it gets the clothes clean, I want you to return it. It will be a never-ending cycle. And that's what I want to leave you guys with today. Make sure that you're asking lifestyle questions to understand how your customers are doing laundry, what their habits are, what they're used to. Find out what the last machine they bought was and what they're working with at home, so that you can guide and shape the sales experience around identifying products that are either compatible with how they do laundry or help them conceptualize how they can do laundry moving forward. And the last thing I want to leave you with is, as a salesperson, as a technician, margins are thicker in front load laundry. Manufacturers want people to switch to front load. There are incentives to get them to do that. You are hurting your retail enterprise if you are constantly shying away from talking to customers about front load laundry, whether you're a tech or you're a retailer. That's it for today. Hit that like and subscribe button for more Sales Lab videos, and I'll catch you on the next one.